Imagine a luxury resort filled with champagne, high-stakes gambling, and elite guests. Now imagine that same resort completely swallowed by thick airy fog, covered in creeping vines and scarred by bullet holes. High up in the misty mountains of Cambodia sits a place that feels like a real-life ghost story. Welcome to Bokor Hill Station, an abandoned French colonial retreat where the jungle has spent decades trying to erase the past. Today we are exploring these haunting ruins to uncover the dark history left behind. Let's rewind to the 1920s. Cambodia was under French rule, and the European colonists were struggling with the intense, sticky heat of the capital city, Phnom Penh. They needed a getaway, so they looked up to the top of the Damrei Mountains, over 3,000 feet in the sky, where the air was cool and crisp. They decided to build a lavish playground right in the middle of the wilderness, but building this dream came with a nightmare cost. Over 1,000 local Cambodian workers lost their lives carving the winding mountain road and building the resort in the harsh, unforgiving jungle conditions. By 1925, Bokor Hill Station was fully open, acting as a bustling mini-city in the clouds. The absolute crown jewel was the magnificent Bokor Palace Hotel and Casino. Picture grand ballrooms, crystal chandeliers, and rich travelers rolling dice at the casino tables. The town even had its own post office, a Catholic church, and shops. For a brief moment in time, it was the ultimate symbol of wealth and luxury in Southeast Asia. But the good times up on the mountain were never meant to last. Trouble was brewing just over the horizon. In the late 1940s, the First Indochina War broke out. As local resistance against French rule grew, the isolated mountain resort became way too dangerous to protect. The wealthy guests packed their bags, the French fled, and the grand doors of the hotel were locked tight. For the first time, Bokor Hill Station was abandoned to the elements without humans around. The aggressive tropical jungle quickly started taking over. Roots broke through the concrete and heavy rains battered the beautiful buildings. The resort saw a brief, hopeful revival in the 1960s, but it was quickly overshadowed by the darkest chapter in Cambodia's history. In the 1970s, the brutal Khmer Rouge took control of the country. Bokor Hill Station turned from a forgotten vacation spot into a heavily armed military stronghold. For months, fierce battles raged right inside these walls. Even today, if you walk through the empty, echoing halls of the old hotel or stand inside the abandoned Catholic church, you can see the deep bullet holes scarred into the concrete. It is a chilling reminder of the violence that replaced the luxury. Exploring Bokor today is an unforgettable, deeply unsettling experience. Because of the high altitude, a heavy, grey fog constantly rolls through the buildings. One minute you can clearly see the Grand Hotel and the next it completely vanishes into the mist. The walls are covered in a strange rust-colored moss that makes the buildings look almost like they are bleeding. When the wind howls through the empty window frames, it sounds just like the whispers of the past. It is incredibly eerie, beautiful and sad all at the same time. Bokor Hill Station is a massive monument to how quickly things can change. A place built for ultimate pleasure became a stage for war and finally a ghost town. Nature always wins in the end, and looking at these crumbling walls, it's easy to see how the jungle reclaims everything we leave behind. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the misty ruins of Cambodia. If you love exploring the forgotten corners of the world as much as I do, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments what abandoned place we should explore next. I will see you in the next video.